Hi, everyone. Welcome to Illuminate 2020 Psychic Fair and More. I'm Kathy Reed, and I'm the co-founder of Illuminate Psychic Fair and More. And we're heading into our 7th year of a very exciting fair. I think one of the best fairs we've ever had as we step into a new decade and the age of Aquarius, which is exciting times, very exciting times. We have 60 amazing exhibitors and 7 speakers and a panel of experts during the fair. And to start the fair off, we have a keynote presentation, which is new to the fair this year. We've made it on a different night. It's the Thursday night, January the 30th. And we have Elizabeth Beetz and Colette Marie Stefan, who are going to start the fair off with a beautiful keynote presentation. So, without further ado, today we are going to be interviewing one of our speakers, Leah Sinclaire.
Hi, Kathy. I am so excited to be here with you and exhibiting at the Illuminate 2020. This is one of my favorite expos to attend.
Thanks, Leah. Thanks for joining us. And you're going to be talking about one of my most favorite topics ever, numerology. I use numbers every day as a guidance system, and I have for years and years and years. So I'm really grateful and excited that you're actually going to be talking about this, because there's so many people that have so many questions about this. So in your bio, it says that you have been studying numerology, or it's been in your life, since 1998. Can you share a little bit more about that?
Yes, I'd be happy to. 1998, I was working in my own business as an entrepreneur, and as most of us do, working really hard. And I came across numerology, and it suddenly illuminated a lot of things. It made a lot of sense to me at the time in my life. I could really apply it to my life, and I saw improvements. So that was extremely motivating for me. So then I began a study of it. And what I've noticed is the more a person learns about the qualities of the numbers, there's only 9 of them, and the qualities are either positive or negative. Once you have a little bit of knowledge about that, the numbers themselves start to speak to you, which is incredible. Because what I also learned throughout the years, not immediately, because in the beginning of anything, when someone's a student, they're really getting a basis of it. But now that I've got the full knowledge, I realized that we as a human being, we're multidimensional. And so what happens is the numbers will speak to us from another dimension in time and place. And what happens when most people see sequences, that's actually a message. And I've learned how to discern that. And that's what I'm happy to share with each and every person that shows up, comes to the booth, comes to the talk.
Wow, that's an interesting concept that you have, multidimensional. So you're saying that the numbers actually come onto the planet from a different dimension? Are we talking about, so just elaborate that a little bit more.
Yes, I'd love to. And this took about, I'd say, 10 years for me to fully come to that concept and grasp it, because in the meantime, I would listen to different scientists explain their mathematical theory on quantum physics, quantum science, and it just made sense to me that if we are born into the 3rd dimension, which is the 3, and then we inhabit the time-space continuum in a body, which is the 4th dimension, and the going higher, the 5th dimension could be considered the consciousness, or our consciousness, our mind, or the collective consciousness. So now we've gone into 3 different dimensions already in that. And then the 6th dimension can be even considered higher than that, and the quality of 6 could mean, the masters, the angels, angelic realm, and then interdimensional beings that are here to help us. Really, when anyone prays, I mean, prayer, as I'm sure you could agree with me, is extremely powerful, and it does work. There is some type of a force that does respond to a prayer, and I've discovered that quality that houses the essence of prayer is 6. So I could go on, but these are the things I'm happy to talk about and I love to share, because for me as an individual, when I experience the messages of, say, a 333 or a 777 coming at me, and you know, I'm sure many people can attest to this when they're going through life, a sequence will catch their eye. And it literally stopped them dead in their tracks because almost everybody in the world has an inherent feeling about numbers and they mean something. But the answer or the question to that is, what do they mean? And this is what I feel I can bring to the table.
Awesome. So that's what you're going to be sharing at the Illuminate as a presentation, a speaker presentation, 11:11. The numerical gateway to your consciousness evolution. So you're going to be talking about certain sequences. One thing I recognize with myself is that sequences come in repetitive patterns. So I'll see 333, and then I'll think, okay, that's a beautiful message. But then a few minutes later, I'll see 333. And so it's like they got to get your attention. So they keep repeating it over and over again. And
you know, may I please address that, because that is the number one frequently asked question. I'll get people messaging me on Messenger saying, Leah, I'm seeing 711, then I see 1111, and then I'll see 711 again, and it just goes on. And so what it is it's just like us in regular life. We set our alarm and the alarm goes off, and if we don't want to get up right then, we'll hit the snooze button. So then what happens is 10 minutes later, our alarm will sound again. So literally what I want to say is this. When a person sees a specific sequence, that is a gateway. It's a gateway in a moment of time. And what you're being called to do is literally go through the gateway. So what I will be sharing live is this incantation, and we can all agree that ritual is very powerful when it's performed and it has a specific task, and that is to evolve that person in that moment. So I'll share that with the audience and with anyone who's interested on what exactly to do when you see those sequences, because what it does is in that moment, if you do this incantation, you take yourself through the gateway, this cellular frequency of your body oscillates a little faster. So what it does is it raises your vibration and you feel it. It's visceral. So I'm excited to share this. Really excited.
That sounds amazing. That sounds really amazing. So now us stepping into the age of Aquarius and stepping into a new decade, 2020, has the energy changed for you? Do you find that the numbers are a little bit more, like you say, larger, more? Is there anything about the this new decade that you've noticed so far?
Yes. First of all, there's less of a frenetic, scattered feeling, less of an emotional feeling. There's more of a sense of, I know where I'm going. There's a foundation that I'm stepping onto, and there's a sense of more of an ability to pull one's goals together, dreams together, get themselves organized in a way that they can actually follow a format to get to a conclusion. So there's that grounded sense that 2020 is bringing. Also, there's a real desire to open to a higher power, whatever that person calls the essence of life or their own spiritual evolution. There's really more of a desire to surrender to that type of energy and partner with it. You know, I mean, that's really the key right there, recognizing that we are co-creating, but having an actual cognizant partnership with it and then leading your life like that, then you know intuitively that when you're making a decision to move forward, it is the right path. That's actually number one question I get from my clients is, am I on the right path? And so what number sequences can teach that person is when it catches your eye, yes, you absolutely are. So it's a real confirmation. So that's what 2020 is bringing. That's one thing. And there's one more thing I want to share, and that is there's an era of mankind that's a much larger than the age of Aquarius, and that era, the old one, is coming to a close, and we're moving towards that close up to 2025. And then after 2025, the new one opens, and the old one is all about conformity and staying in fear and staying in a box. The new one is about opening to a partnership with a higher sense of who you are, source field, if you want to choose that, and also moving towards a place of truth and expansion and fearlessness. That's the key. Yeah,
Oh
big
boy.
difference.
And we all need to step into that, because it's been too long we've been living in this conformity where we have to
Yes.
follow that fear, and we have to follow into that box that they've been putting ourselves into. So it's lovely to witness, because now the chakras can be free to be
Yes.
open, and
Yeah.
you can
Yes.
step into who you are and fulfill your life
Yes.
purpose. And so I'm excited
Yeah.
for 2020 and moving forward.
Oh, the next 5 years are going to be very expansive and very telling of the direction, not only for provinces or states or countries, but for the actual world itself. Literally, the world has become a golf ball. Everybody is able to witness what's going on in the 4 power cornerstones of the world. And I feel the one thing that we can all ground into is holding a space of love and healing and intention for everything, because thought is power and it emanates from within us outward. And that's one of the things that the numbers can teach, is that it's a reminder. So if you see a 333, that's a reminder of pure innocent love. And I mean, there's just so much more. I'm happy to share with anyone who wants to know. I'm here to help you discern what the numbers mean. That's really the key. And once you get those questions, it furthers you and it expedites your path of evolution, really. And that's why we're here.
And it also gives you the ability to have some confidence that those numbers mean something. That
Oh my goodness.
It just isn't just a passing. I mean, license plates and
No.
clocks and I mean, honestly, everywhere.
Okay, I really have to share this. I'm just bursting. So, this morning on the way to a spiritual meeting, I witnessed a 777. So of course I went through that gateway, and I'm going to share 777 is the access to the void of creation, the 7th dimension. It's 1 degree higher than 6D. So that's telling me that I'm accessing the book of life. And my own intuition is wide open to receive information. So I affirmed that, and I went through the gateway. Then on the way to my residence from the meeting, another 777. What are the odds? And see, that's the thing, that people are just incredulous. Like, I've seen it there, and I've seen it just over here. What are the odds? And the odds are 1,000,000 to 1. So literally in that moment, you're being spoken to, and that's powerful to know that.
Yeah. That's how I feel about the numerical system, is that it's creator, whatever you believe to be your truth within yourself, it's creator giving you a message. And so it's really important that we pay attention to that. They come in lots of different ways, but the numbers are the most exciting to me. I use them every day. I get excited when I see them, and I'm always curious. Okay, what does that mean? And I'm always in the midst of them. I just love them, and they fulfill my heart. And so maybe that's why they're given to me in so many ways, and that's the other thing too. Lots of different patterns of numbers, not just 33, but lots of patterns that are the same, like 711 and things like that. Mm-hmm.
Well, there are each person, of course, has their own individual experience, but there are so many possibilities. But the key is you want to look for the patterns, whatever they are, and there's a message contained in that. The common ones, and I'm going to say gateways are not common, but the common ones are triple sequences, all the same, like 111, 222, 333, all the way up to 000. But then you get the interim gateways like 808, and you'll see it again. You'll see it again. And you're like, what does that mean? And so these are the things I want to teach people, and how you can discern answers for yourself, because ultimately that message is specifically for you. So anything I can do to illuminate that. Oh, yes, one more thing. We have invented English so that you and I can communicate and we can understand each other. Math is the language of Earth. So the more that we open to her language, the more she can speak to us. That is a powerful place to be.
That's a beautiful message, especially since we should be grounding ourselves to Mother Earth and being grateful that we get to walk on this beautiful planet. And so
Absolutely.
that's an amazing message you just shared. So I do have
Thank you.
I do have a comment here in the feed. It's
Yes.
from Millik, and she says, "Hello, I see
Hello.
I see angel numbers which started a few months ago." So
Okay.
obviously she's opened herself up to being more receptive to seeing those numbers.
Yes. What I want to say is every number is an angel number. Every number is an interdimensional number. And every dimension is full of sentient beings that are waiting to be in service to us. We need to learn the language. Number one. Number two, when we ask, age-old adage, ask and ye shall receive, knock and the door shall open. Those sentences are real. So when we do that, that's a chance for the numbers to start pouring in whatever sequence is going to illuminate our path and help us understand and further ourselves as to why we're here, what our purpose is, and how we can actually pull that source energy inside and then be the source of, rather than looking externally. It's like this interdimensionality wants us to know who we are.
That's a lovely message, and I'm grateful you brought that up, because it really is going within. And
Yes.
there's a true feeling of when you know you're within, it's different than when you're living a life on the outer edge. So pulling yourself in and getting in touch with who you are. So I'm so excited, Leah. This is going to be such an incredible time. And you are offering sessions at your booth at Illuminate 2020.
Yes.
And you will find Leah at booth number 225 at the Illuminate 2020 Psychic Fair at the end of January in Kelowna. Her presentation is Saturday, February 1st at 2 p.m. And I guarantee you're going to want to be there.
Yes.
So thank you so much. Have you got anything further that you'd like to add?
No, other than each of us is on a spiritual path. And when we actually make that connection with the number sequence that is meant for us, typically that person will feel that spirit rush. I believe we've all felt it at one point, but I'm going to say this: money cannot buy the spirit rush that comes through you when truth has landed in your body. When you've seen a gateway, you've gone through it and you feel it, well, that is yours. That is priceless. And that's what the numbers are here to teach us.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Leah. That's awesome. And thank you for being with us today. We're really excited and very grateful. Thank you so much. So if you want more information about Illuminate 2020 Psychic Fair, you can go to www.illuminateyourlife.ca and you can buy your tickets online. So
Thank you.
See Leah and come to her presentation. It will be absolutely incredible. Thank you, Leah. Thank you, everyone.
Namaste. Thank you.
Namaste. Bye.
Okay.